Welcome. I am Tim from Plugged Into Leadership. You're hanging out with me, T for Tim. Happy Valentine's Day. My question for you today is, do you love someone enough to have a tough conversation with them? Do you love someone enough to have a tough conversation with them? We're diving in. Here we go. Welcome. I am Tim from Plugged Into Leadership. Glad that you have decided to join me this morning for Tea with Tim. We are in part 3 of our series of Getting Conversations Right. I just want to say a special thank you to my amazing wife. She has got me an official Plugged Into Leadership #Tea with Tim mug. So I'm drinking my tea out of my Tea with Tim mug this morning. Super pumped. Welcome, Eric. On Monday, I asked us to look at the idea of these high stakes, high emotions, and differing opinion conversations. And I asked us to ask ourselves 3 questions when we find ourselves in these, what I would call crucial conversations, or what the book calls crucial conversations. So if we find ourselves in these conversations, on Monday we talked about asking ourselves, what do we really want for myself in this conversation? What do we really want for others? And what do we really want out of the relationship? Now, these are so critical because you can find yourselves in all kinds of critical conversations or crucial conversations. And to answer these 3 questions, a lot of times the answer to the first one is, what do I really want? Is to win the argument, is to be right, is to come out of the conversation the victor, the winner. And that's not always the best thing, because the other person probably doesn't want you to necessarily win. If they did, they would just concede the conversation and it would basically be over. So we really need to think about, what do we really want out of this conversation? What do we really want for others? And what do we really want for the relationship? Is winning the argument, okay, going to be the best thing for the relationship? And I mentioned yesterday that when we get into these conversations, we tend to have either a go silent or go violent. The fight or flight response happens. Our adrenaline comes up. We don't know what's going to happen. And a lot of times people will just shut down. They'll just be quiet. That's fine. Whatever you want, because they don't want to deal with it. Or they get really upset. They get angry. They storm out. They raise their voice. Whatever. So the second thing that we talked about on Tuesday was to ask ourselves, am I in some form of silence or violence? See, I know for guys this is very difficult, but we need to get in touch with our feelings, and we need to learn to accurately identify the emotions behind our story. Now, I talked about telling ourselves a story last week. I believe it was last Thursday, so I would suggest that you go check out that video that talks about the emotions behind our story. There's facts, there's what happens, we can talk about what happened and from our perspective, and then there is our actions, how we act, and in the middle there is this story that we tell ourselves. So if you want to know more about the storytelling of our emotions and what's behind that, go back to last Thursday and check out that video. So what emotions are encouraging you to act this way? So we have to analyze our story. So question your conclusions and look at the other possible explanations behind your story. Is there some other reason that person could have done what they did? I find that this is, the more that I ask myself this question, the less stressed out and the less anxiety I have overall in my life. When somebody cuts me off in traffic, I don't think they're a terrible person. I think they're probably just as late as I was yesterday when I was running out the door and they need to get to where they're going. So I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I try to ask myself, how would I feel in that particular situation? What story are these is creating these emotions? What are we telling ourselves? Let's go back to my conversation last Thursday. We need to go back to the facts. We need to abandon it's kind of the absolute, this is exactly what happened, and distinguish between hard facts and our invented stories. That's where this really finds a lot of value with other people, is we can dialogue about, what do you think happened and what's going on? I find when I ask the other person, what exactly do you think that I'm saying right now? In a way that invites them to give their response, not in an accusatory way, that they're more willing to, I think that you're saying this. Well, no, that's a great perspective. That's not what I'm saying. So let me clear up what I'm saying. And I think that that is monumentally helpful. And then we need to look at what evidence do I have to support my story. So we need to look at, are these rooted in facts? Are these just rooted in my emotions? And we need to kind of really figure out where to go with that. Then we need to watch for the clever stories that come up. The victim stories, oh, they did this to me. Or the villain stories, I got them. Or the helpless stories, I can do nothing but just be helpless in this situation. Those are the stories that are going to get us into a lot of trouble. So I kind of reviewed our video from last Thursday. I went into a little bit more depth. But we can start by asking ourselves these questions, and I'll repeat them again. What emotions are encouraging me to act this way? What story is creating these emotions? And what evidence do I have to support this story? And then we need to tell the rest of the story. We need to ask ourselves another series of questions. Am I pretending not to notice my role in the problem? Why would a reasonable, rational, and decent person do this? That is a huge one, a huge one. We have to assume the best in the person. Like I talked about yesterday, that we need to see them the way that we want to be seen. We need to start with respect. And so we need to ask ourselves, why would they do that? What's some other reasons that they would do that? See, we tend to always give ourselves, to paint ourselves in the best possible light. Oh, I have all the facts, I know everything, and that person just steamrolled me, completely didn't care. And then we need to go back to that first question, what do I really want in this conversation? And then we need to ask, what would I do right now if what I really want, if I really wanted these results? How would my actions line up with what I really wanted? And is there some discrepancy there? So that's my conversation for today. Man, I'm really excited about the conversation that we're going to have tomorrow. I am looking forward to having a special guest on the show tomorrow. And we're going to talk about how we put these principles of crucial conversations in practice in real life. And so I can't wait for that conversation tomorrow. And I'm going to suggest again, man, I really think that it would be valuable for you to watch this video with somebody over lunch, discuss it, somebody in the office, somebody that you might want to try to have a better conversation with in the future, someone that you've had a terrible conversation with in the past. And I'm also inviting you to share this video. Please share this video. I would really appreciate you sharing the video. If you share this video this week, you can be entered into a drawing to win a free leadership resource from me. And I'm just looking forward to helping you grow and get your conversations right. Because when we do, man, so much can change. So much can change. Just the ability to have these kinds of conversations and have them successfully will change so much about your life. So that's it for me. Signing off. Tea with Tim. Please share this video. #TeaWithTim. Love you, and we will see you tomorrow.